guys. Hello. How are you doing? Um, how is everyone's evening? Sorry, I'm gonna turn on TikTok. You also might hear Liv snoring. I'm telling you, it's the Aussie influence. I keep like trying to say everything with like R's and stuff. Um, but so I am going to what's its face? I'm going to just turn on TikTok and then I'll be right with you. Oh yes, you can hear Liv snoring. I think it's quite evident at this point. Oh my gosh, Sandberg, hello. Okay, let me do. I want to like 1 sec. I want to do this and see if that'll work because it's pissing me off. The angle is weird. And okay, that should be better. Okay. Oh yay! Now I'm like sort of looking into the camera. Okay. Hi Juju. Welcome to Agent Beat Sandberg. So weird to say. Hi Diane. Hi Veronica. Hi Ian. Hi Martin. Hi Lost One. Hi Hugh. Hi John. Who am I missing? Hi Juju. Hi Praxis. Yeah, Sandberg is like more popular here than I am. It's quite upsetting, you know? It's quite upsetting. I'm just kidding. It's not upsetting. Good for him. Oh, I see. Is it? Yeah. How did it get mirrored? It was never mirrored before, and now it's mirrored. Also, oh my God, Liv. Okay, give me 1 second. Hi, Darlene. Hi, Super Hornet. Let me like wake Liv up for a second because this is wild. And I was snoring. Liv, my dog, my French bulldog is snoring. Liv. Oh my God, God. Listen. Hey, yeah. Good morning. Hello. Please stop. Okay. So, why do you look so startled, dude? You snore like a. Hi, Taz. There is a large chance that I won't be able to do anything about this. Hi, David. Okay, so yeah, and my dog is snoring here near me. Well, welcome to my life. I thought I was hearing an engine running. No, that's Liv, and that's how she snores. And you know what's funny? Like, so Sadie snores very rarely. And when she does, it's like, it's very, very mild. And hi, Darta. It's very mild. And normally if she starts snoring, I just like plop her on the other side and she's okay and she doesn't snore anymore. Liv, however, it doesn't matter what I do. Like at some point, she was snoring so bad that I couldn't sleep. And like, mind you, I can sleep through a lot. The only thing that bothers me is like lights, but I normally can sleep through all the snoring. And at some point she was snoring so bad that I like woke her up. I was trying to wake her up. She wouldn't wake up. I was like shaking her. I was like, please wake up. And she literally would not react. She would just continue snoring. So, you know, if you are planning on getting a French bulldog, you know, think about it a couple of times. Think about it a couple of times because, you know, it might not be the experience you're awaiting. Wait till they both are snoring at different intervals. It's the main cause of my insomnia. Oh, that's happened before. Hi, Vlaret, and hi, Hawaiian guy. So I mean, that's happened before. Listen, you can scare me with anything, with dogs snoring or, you know, making any sort of noises. Hi, John, and hi, Joe. So that's basically that. This morning I woke up and so Liv has been stealing my slippers. Like she finds my slippers everywhere and puts them in her bed. And like, that's annoying, but okay, fine. So this morning she somehow managed to open the door from my bedroom into the hallway, which is because the door bedroom. So I don't know how she did that. So she went out and I woke up this morning literally with 4 of my slippers in my bed. So I was like, okay, well, that's great. Then this evening, so today is like everything that could have gone wrong in my existence today just went wrong. First of all, I need to go to Kyiv on the 5th and I need to sign the contract for the apartment. And I don't want to do it remotely because there's plenty of reasons why. And so I have to go there. Also on Tuesday in the morning, I have a test shoot with the job that I've mentioned before. So what I will do actually is probably on Sunday I'll have a Patreon call with you guys. So those of you who are on Patreon will know about the job before everyone else does. And I'll sort of like discuss my motivations and why I took the job and what I'm planning to do at the job and stuff like that. But so I have to be there on Monday before like evening, and I have to be there on Tuesday in the morning. So my mom was gonna drive me there with a bunch of suitcases. Then she changed her mind and decided she doesn't want to do it. So she was like, why don't you ask your father? That's her answer to everything. My dad doesn't want to drive to Kyiv, understandably so, because there are lots of block posts and he's not yet 60, but he's close to 60. So he can get stopped and he can get conscripted. And like, it's just kind of, it's just a little, he's like, he's an older person. So, well, I mean, not like old, but as in like for the military, and he's never served in the military. But anyways, so it's it's sort of his, like, I understand why he doesn't want to do that. So then his girlfriend offered, and then we sort of had a plan to do it on Sunday, and then they kind of like changed last minute, and there was just like a lot of stuff about it that was just so unnecessary and whatever. And so now I have 2 days to figure out how to get to Kyiv on Monday before end of the day, and do that in a car so I can pack like at least half of my stuff and move it. So I'm just having a great day. And today I came back home. I walk into the living room, which I normally close. I close it because Liv, so the more comfortable she gets, the more behavioral issues come out. And I'm obviously going to address them with like a kinologist or like a doggy trainer or something like that when I'm settled in Kyiv. But for now, I can't start doing that while I'm like moving and stuff like that. But so she's got a lot of behavioral issues, and she literally goes like, if she enters a living room for any reason, she will like pee or poop on the floor, whether she's been walked or not. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just like a thing she does. And so she somehow managed to open the door to the living room, even though I have a chair standing in front of it, and it was standing like right in front of the door. Anyways, she's like managed to climb in there. And like, when I tell you she's pooped everywhere, I like actually mean it, because I thought I cleaned up everything, and then I managed to step in it on 2 different occasions. And so I was like on my knees cleaning dog shit, pardon my French, and also my slippers were covered in it too. So I had to like hose them down in the bathroom. They're fluffy slippers. It was just like not a great experience. And I was on the phone with a friend who was just like, that I almost murdered, because when women are angry, men usually tell them that it's adorable, And so so I was getting even more angry because someone was telling me that it's adorable when I'm angry. So yeah. Oh, hi Sakai, thank you so much. Oh, hi Ghost. Liv is a naughty girl. Yes, she is. And she also snores like a freaking train. She snores like, yes, I'm talking about you. Thank you, Ghost. Oh my gosh. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That is like the sound that I go to sleep to every evening. Liv. Hey, bud. Also, this is what I had just pulled out from underneath her. Hard no too. Liv, stop snoring, bud. Stop snoring, bud. No, stop snoring. I'm good. It's a living white noise machine. That is not white noise. White noise is like light and pleasant. This is not white noise. This is very unpleasant. I feel sorry for you on snoring. Yeah, me too. Stepping and poop in the middle of the night with bare feet is really something. Well, so I was not. So I was not. I wasn't barefoot, which is at least good. I sound like that when I sleep on my back. Liv sounds like that at any point. Hi, James. Good to see you. So you guys on YouTube and you guys on, if you are on Twitter, you have seen the update for the fundraiser. So Bjorn, yes, Liv, thank you for the sound effect for that. So Bjorn donated $1,000 to the fundraiser overnight, and we also matched the 500. So the fundraiser is quite ahead now, which is very nice after it's been stalling for like a while. Also, I got a $53 donation either this morning. Yeah, I think it was this morning. Well, it doesn't matter when, but basically in between my last live and this live. So we're at $6,799, which is almost 3 drones, which is wild because we were stuck at almost 2 drones for like a month. And now we're almost at, not only are we at 2 drones, we're way past 2 drones. So that's really cool. And thank you, Bjorn, if you are going to be watching this. It was a very, very, very pleasant surprise to wake up to a couple of days ago. And that's very, very sweet and very cool. And I hope that you liked the video that the unit sent you saying thank you for the scope. So Bjorn gave Rick a thermal scope for a sniper, and my friend knew a sniper that needed a scope, and the sniper is in like Kharkiv direction, and so I ended up sending it through Nova Poshta, and recently, or they picked it up recently, and they're going out to Kharkiv. And I think they're actually probably already there. So they recorded a video, and so one of the guys is Danish, and I guess he tried to speak Norwegian to say thank you, or maybe like Danish is similar to Norwegian. But anyway, so so that happened, and I thought that was very sweet, and I'm really happy that did happen. Good time to move then. Oh yeah, perfect, perfect timing. I have far too many chromosomes to keep a woman. Oh my gosh. Hi, Gord. My lady says that I snore, but she doesn't complain too much, so I guess I'm not awful with it. Oh my gosh. Like, man. I don't know. I used to think that I don't really feel horrible when people snore, and then Liv magically appeared in my life, and now I understand that snoring is really not something I tolerate very well. So what I'm actually gonna do when I get to Kyiv and when I settle is I'm probably gonna get her like a big playpen, which so Cindy has always slept in bed. I found out from the foster home that Liv sometimes slept with their son and sometimes slept in the living room. So so I will probably train her to sometimes sleep in the playpen because I can't handle the snoring every night. Like, I can't. Hi, Giddy. Thank you. Also Radarom, the Lithuanian fundraiser that's going, thank you, that's going that has been going on since January 24th and is going to be going on until February 24th, the 10-year anniversary of the invasion by Russia. And it's going to supply protection kits for soldiers, and Lithuania has hi Tara. Lithuania has already raised 1.6 million euros on second week of the fundraiser, which is crazy and so nice. And it's a really cool initiative that Lithuanians are doing. Доброго вечора. Hi Don and hi Ian. Hi, Tara. And yeah, so that's really sweet. Lithuania is, as always, being a fantastic country and a fantastic friend to Ukraine. Oh, thank you, Tara. Playpen for Liv, be careful when she tries to break out. No, so she can jump high. And I'm gonna get like one of those. So they have those like wooden ones, and they're actually really sturdy. My mom has one of those for her French bulldog, so that's probably the one that I'm gonna end up getting too. Thank you. And 219 individual protection kits, which is really, really cool. Is the dog also, how do I am Slava? Is the dog z Polski? Dziękuję bardzo. And 219 individual kits. That's really, really cool. Also, so before we dive into the news, I'm going to vent a little more about my move, because that's basically all I sort of do these days. I kind of had a day off today, which was nice, and I haven't done the live in the past 2 days because I've just gotten home really late and been really tired, and I just like did not have the headspace to do it. It's been a very exhausting 48 hours, really, like mentally so exhausting. But you know, I'm persevering. I need to buy a new, like, here the bed is not really big, so my mom gave me like blankets and stuff, and I have pillows, so at least that. But neither the bed sheets nor like the blanket fits onto the bed in Kyiv, because it's a more modern bed, so it's a different size, and so I'm gonna have to buy all the bedding again, which, like, honestly, one of the most annoying things about this entire moving and like living in Ukraine is that I have to like buy these things that I already have in the US, and it's really annoying. It's a very, very annoying situation. Like, for instance, I need to buy a Brita filter and like stuff like that, and it's just like it feels like so wasteful. But also, yeah, I really need to buy a blanket, like a duvet. I need to buy a duvet cover. I need to buy bed sheets and like shams and stuff. I do have 3 pillows, so that's great, and they're very, very fluffy and stuff. So I'm happy with them. They're like 20 years old too, because I remember them since I was a kid. Just sleep on the floor? No, thank you. Brita filter. Hate taste of water here. I'm sorry, what? No, it's just like I'm not gonna drink tap water in Kyiv. Like, it's you can't drink tap water. Like, that's really, really not good for you. You need to go to PS. I will murder you, Sandberg. Thank you. Livesies. So yeah, so I'm just like not excited for all of these like random things. Like, I need to buy trash cans, it's these stupid little things that you don't think about. Like, there are no trash cans. I need to buy trash cans. And also, I've noticed like Ukrainians have a single tiny little trash can in the kitchen. Okay? And they do not have trash cans like in the bathroom, or like in the office, or in like random places. Most people are just like, why do you have so many trash cans? Because like I've put like people I've put like paper bags, and I use them as trash cans, like one under my desk, and like one in my bedroom, and like one in my bathroom, and like one in my kitchen. And people are always like, why do you need so many like trash cans? And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't want to go all the way to the kitchen. Like, also, like, the trash cans here are like this big. I'm used to like massive American trash cans. Like, they fill up so freaking fast. And also here, because it's an old city, в нас насправді тільки на кухні одна, бачиш? And they fill up so freaking fast because they're so small. And like, I live in an older city, right? And I live like an old city center, so I don't have like a trash chute, right? I have to go a couple of blocks to throw out my trash, which is like so annoying. And I'm not like complaining. I am complaining 100%. It's like first world problems, but it's just like so weird because in the US you have trash cans like near your building, in front of like every building, right? And here, oh, hi, Wales. Oh my gosh, hi. And so, yeah, and so I have to like walk Thank you, Victor. Thank you so much. So I have to walk to like throw out my trash. Like it's basically the same situation I had with laundry in the US. Like I have to go around the block to do my laundry because I don't have it in my building. But but I have to walk, and it's like quite a walk. Okay, like it's really not like that close. So it's just weird. I just don't understand why, if you have a single trash can at home and if you have to like walk far away to throw it out, then you like, why do you have such small trash cans? You're spoiled. No, I'm not. I had to do like I did laundry in a laundromat in the US. I'm just saying that in the US, every building has their own trash can. So it's weird for me that here trash cans are like so far away. I'm pretty sure that in like newer buildings in Kyiv, you have like trash chutes, or you have trash cans like hi Sammy. You have trash cans like in front of most buildings. But yeah, this has been like a very interesting like garbage situation. So yeah, also I live on the fourth floor walk up again, so it's not really fun, because I have to go out with two dogs too. So that means that I can't take the trash when I'm walking the dogs, because like I will literally fall off my stairs and eat shit, pardon my French. So yeah. So Don, it is complaint worthy. You love those walk. Well, I just like not a walk up, but here there aren't any like modern buildings in the city center, and older buildings very rarely have an elevator. So yeah. There's that. What kind of dogs? Two French bulldogs. You can hear one of them snoring currently, and I've woken her up 3 times now to Liv. Lizzie's. Hey, bud. Hey, Liv. Hello. Good morning. Please stop snoring. Um, okay. This is not going to do anything. But yeah, so that's that. Also, yes, if you would like to donate to the fundraiser, the link to the fundraiser is in my link in bio. It's for 6 drones for the armed forces of Ukraine. We are almost at 3 drones at this point. And if you would like to donate on YouTube, then the link is like right here. Oh my gosh, my camera is mirrored. I don't know why, so it's driving me crazy. Let me see if I can fix that. I doubt I can. Customization, live reaction, slow mode, redirect trailer, details. Yeah, no, I don't think I can fix that. I don't know why that happened. It was never the case. Okay, still curious. In Warsaw, you can drink tap water. Why not in Kyiv? Explain. I don't know. Like, people have filtration systems, and people buy bottled water because I think the pipes through which the water goes are very old, and they're not necessarily super. Yeah, I don't. It's just like, I think. Well, in some cities, it's safe to drink tap water, and in some cities, it isn't. Like, for instance, in New York, it's technically safe to drink tap water, but I've seen what filters turn into when you do that. So I wouldn't either way, or I wouldn't for for extended periods of time. And even when they say that it is safe, it's not necessarily super safe. It depends where you are, but it also depends on the building. Like, it really does depend on like the building you're in. Also depends on where the water is coming from as well. So it also honestly depends on pipes a lot. So for instance, New York City, it's water, but for instance, like if you live in an old building, your pipes are likely super rusty, and they're really old, and they're not cleaned well. So by the time that water that's safe reaches your faucet, it's really not that safe anymore. So it really depends on a lot of factors. Like, technically, the city defines the quality of the water, right? But like, also your building plays a part in it. Like, the pipe building define the quality of the water that gets to you. So it's not really that safe. So yeah, I mean, a lot of apartments, especially in newer buildings in Kyiv, have like separate little water faucets with filtered water. My apartment doesn't have that. Unfortunately, neither does this one. So I've been just like buying bottled water, and yeah. So there's that. I drank the water in Accra once. I was sick for a month. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to risk it because I think that you never know, and like tap water is not necessarily super safe for you anyway. So if you can get like a water filter, um, you probably should. So yeah. Um, oh, hi, Life by Design. Hi, guys. That's my profession, critical water infrastructure. Oh, see, Odin literally works in critical water infrastructure. And Odin, would you ever drink tap water without filtration? I doubt it. Okay, so my dad also works in water, so he buys me bottled water. Literally, he will not let me drink faucet water. He will bring me bottled water, and provided that he works in water supply, I feel like I should just take his word on it and not question him. Because, if my dad, who works in this field, is like super duper me guzzling down tap water right now, or nor, I work for South Australia Water Corporation. Oh my gosh, yeah. See, did you see the lady who jumped on the car, stole her French bulldogs? No, I did not. But that sounds awful. Um, but so yeah, so that's sort of basically my dad works in water supply. He buys me bottled water. I feel like that's enough. That's enough. That's enough of a what's its face like. I think that's a pretty good sign that you should just not question the situation and not drink tap water, right? Yeah. Okay, let me get to where this is okay. Last night, soldiers of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine destroyed the missile boat Ivanovets of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. You have a lot of interesting stories, thanks. The vessel was on the roadstead of Lake Danuzlav in Crimea. As a result of hits to the hull, the Russian boat sustained damage incompatible with further movement and then sank. The cost of the vessel lost by the aggressor's state is approximately $60 to $70 million. Yay! Sorry. Aw, sad. According to preliminary information, the search and rescue operation of the Russian occupiers in Danuzlav was unsuccessful. The main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine reported. So then, let me get to where the Ivanovets was the pride of the Russian Navy, and there were 3 such boats, said Yusuf. The representative of the main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Andriy Yusuf, stated that the destruction of the missile boat is a serious outcome, as there were only 3 such missile boats in service with the Russian Black Sea Fleet. But now there is -1. He added that the boat was to some extent the pride of the Russian Navy, which was unable to deal with the challenge. Ukraine gonna win? It sure will. We just need, here's the thing. It's like, I feel like anytime people say that Ukraine is gonna win, those are also the people very often who think that like we got it and we don't need any more help or something like that, or we have everything that we need. We don't. Like, we're gonna fight no matter what. That's the thing. It's because losing this war is not an option for us, because we're not only gonna like lose our country, we're gonna lose our identity, and we're gonna lose our ability to be Ukrainian. But so we're never gonna stop no matter what. But the problem is that we do need help, because we can either achieve this victory in a reasonable time frame and with still a high number of deaths, because you can't discount the deaths that already happened, but with a lesser amount of deaths, or with an unbearable amount of deaths, right? And we are already there is already a demographic crisis, obviously, because it's war. Okay. As a result of Russian attack on Borislav, 2 volunteers from France were killed. 3 other foreigners were wounded, and an activist from the Ukrainian representative office of the organization was also injured. Uh, Why NATO needs Ukraine. The world, including China, would see Ukraine's subjugation as a defeat for NATO, which is true, with profound global consequences for US global leadership and international security, says according to Foreign Affairs. NATO realizes how detrimental a Russian victory would be to Europe's security. For this summer, NATO should rectify the situation and declare the need to put Ukraine on a clear path to alliance membership. Concerns that Ukraine's membership will cause instability have a downside. The failure to include Ukraine in NATO would leave the Russian threat to Ukraine and Europe intact for the foreseeable and unforeseeable future. Ukraine already has the most capable army in Europe, with a battle-tested force that would become an asset, not a liability to the alliance. So that's actually an interesting. So here's the thing. At this moment, Ukraine really isn't a liability to NATO or to anyone, really. We are the only military currently in the Western world that has battlefield experience in a war of defense where we are being attacked and we are defending ourselves. So there is a lot that we can learn from NATO tactics and stuff. But there is also a lot that NATO can learn from practice. For instance, a lot of soldiers that have served in NATO militaries that have had also all of these luxuries, like, evac helicopters, air support, air superiority, and all of these things before, where they were sort of, they weren't on their own territory defending their own country from a much larger military. They come to Ukraine, they enlist into the military, and then they're very, very, very profoundly confused, and they feel like they're underprepared for a different type of battle. So a lot of soldiers from Australia, from the US, from the UK, from Germany, from France, from literally anywhere in the West, you name it, New Zealand, they come to Ukraine, and they're like, a lot of them leave because this is just not what they expected. And a lot of them obviously stay, and they're quite successful and they do a fantastic thing, but also all of them in the beginning feel like they're underprepared for this, right? Because it's a very, very, very different type of battle. It's a very different battlefield, and also there is not enough equipment. It's not at all like fighting in a NATO military. So yeah, I believe I can fly. Yeah. Missile boat doesn't do it justice. It was a guided missile corvette. Oh, thank you, Diane, for reminding people to like the live. Is there a buy me a coffee here? I don't use Patreon. There is. I also have a PayPal, which is my buy me a coffee should be linked in my link in bio, which would be beacons. Let me do this. beacons.ai/Yulia. But I also have PayPal, which is also linked in the fundraiser. It's just, if you do a personal PayPal, please make sure to let me know that it's personal, because otherwise I will just count it towards the fundraiser. But if it's towards the fundraiser, then it'll go towards the fundraiser. So yeah. Also, you can become a YouTube member if you would like, or you can, I mean, there's so many different things, but thank you so much for considering supporting my work. I really do appreciate that. Estonian Prime Minister on shells for Ukraine. Production has tripled, but it's not enough. According to Estonian Prime Minister Kaja Kallas, Europe has tripled the production of shells for Ukraine. Thank you, Tara. However, the EU countries failed to reach the ambitious goal of 1 million artillery rounds for Ukraine in February. What is good out of it is that the production of ammunition has tripled in Europe. Of course, it's not enough. What is also showed is that the defense readiness of European countries is far behind what it should be. So it sends a clear message to everybody that we should all do more, the Prime Minister emphasized. Also, we just got another donation to the fundraiser, and it is in the amount of $31, and we are at $6,830, which is so good. Thank you, Mashbook. I'm sorry, I don't know. Oh, Kaya. So is it Kaya Kalas then? Sorry, I never like there's so many different languages and so many different names, and I want to pronounce all of them right. So I do want you guys to correct me. So if I ever say anything wrong in your language or like pronounce a name wrong, please do let me know, because it's just I think I'm working with so many different languages that I assume certain pronunciations, and sometimes they're just not right. So Kaya Kalas. Okay, noted. And what she's saying is really true, because, while the defense tripled from what it was in pre-war time, right, it's still not enough for a full-scale wartime. Also, a lot of countries are starting to wake up, and they're starting to prepare their militaries for a potential invasion from Russia, which I'm going to emphasize every time. It's not fear-mongering, and it's not fear mongering, and it's not that these world leaders are trying to scare everybody into thinking World War III, but it's just Russia invading and Russia doing something crazy, or Russia striking the European land is not really that far-fetched, and it's really much better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. So it's a very smart move to prepare for a potential war with Russia. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. That doesn't mean that it's fear-mongering. It just means that it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. And also, hi, Armin. Armin is the quote guy, and if you guys don't know who he is yet, every time on a live, Armin sends a quote of the day, and he has a lot of really good quotes, and I really like them, so I always read them. For the record, no treaties prohibiting NATO expansion were ever signed with Russia. No promises were broken, nor did the impetus for NATO expansion come from a triumphalist Washington. And Applebaum, Polish journalist, she's also a writer. She wrote a book called Red Famine about Holodomor. And man, is Poland preparing. Poland is preparing. Romania also decided to, here we go. The head of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Romania has expressed the view that the Romanian population, like all residents of Europe, should be prepared for potential expansion of Russian aggression beyond the borders of Ukraine. Vlad has urged NATO countries to replenish their stockpiles of weapons and suggested preparing the population, potentially through the introduction of voluntary military service for all citizens. Sweden is also preparing. Yeah, I mean, Sweden has been preparing for a while. Also, all the countries that are bordering Russia, I can't blame you for preparing. In addition, Vlad called for legal reforms in Romania to enable the country to defend itself against Russian drones. He noted that existing laws prevented Romania from shooting down at least one Russian drone. Legal changes could be crucial in enhancing the country's defense capabilities against such threats. Yeah, Finland also makes sense. So everything that borders Russia or is in the close proximity of Russia or borders Ukraine is really preparing for. Oh, thank you, Chris. Is preparing for a potential Russian threat on their territory, because if Europe and the U.S. do not step up help and do not stop, sleeping on really increasing the aid and not pissing off Putin or not escalating the situation, then these countries are going to be in jeopardy as well. Cough, cough, Hungary really needs to wake up. They're not going to wake up. The thing is, it's not that they don't see it. It's just that they think they're invincible because they're Russia's friends. They think Russia's not going to do anything to them. It's very telling that one of their not opposition, but like super far right party leaders said that, they expect Ukraine to give Hungary the Carpathian territory with the Hungarian minority in case of Ukraine's loss to Russia. So it's kind of like, it's super, and telling that, Russia was planning on invading the entirety of Ukraine and seizing all of its territories and then just like giving them away to its little like minions and friends. Hi, Richard. I'm good. How are you? Howdy. I heard a good quote from a Finn once. Better to be a samurai in the garden than a garden in the war. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Yeah, that's a, and, it's very philosophical, but yeah, I agree with it. Kupiansk direction, forest near Sankivka, 500 meters to the front. During a combat mission, the reconnaissance men found an abandoned children's sled in the forest. And in the break between shelling, they decided to go for a ride. And I have pictures of that because it's kind of like cute to see these like little moments that are kind of off the war, right? But they're so different from everything we're used to seeing in the war. It's like, even at the front lines, people find a way to act like kids and have some fun and do these like kind of like quirky, stupid little things, right? And I really like seeing things like that because it's just very nice. According to Forbes, an explosion on August 9th at the Zagorsky Optical and Mechanical Plant near Moscow, which produces Russian Lancet drones, disrupted their production and was attributed to a Ukrainian drone attack. The explosion potentially impacted the supply chain for Lancet drones, affecting the production of cameras used in these unmanned aerial vehicles. Forbes highlighted that the number of Lancet strikes decreased after the explosion. While Lancet strikes had increased from about 25 per month in early 2023 to 135 in July, the numbers plateaued in August and subsequently decreased. The publication suggested that the explosion might have interrupted the supply of cameras, as Lancet drones contain imported components, and Zala, the manufacturer, produces certain elements independently, including the airframe, power source, and camera. Well, while Ukrainians are producing drones at home, so there is like a course you can take in Ukraine that teaches you how to produce drones at home, which is incredible. And a lot of Ukrainians are learning how to do that. And it's really, it's really, really cool. So let me see something. I forgot that I can log into my PayPal on a computer and I can just see things on my computer. How do I am Slava Martin? So we got another donation of $185.73. Sorry, it's a very particular amount. So 185.73 plus 185.73. So that brings us to $7,015.73. Woo! That is almost 3 drones, you guys. Almost 3 drones. And also, how do I am Slava Martin? Thank you so much. That was a very generous donation. Every donation is a very generous donation. but some donations are also very generous, like our extra generous donations. I also have a surprise for some. So basically, at the end of this fundraiser, I'm gonna do a little surprise for you guys. I'm not going to say it yet because I want it to be a surprise, but there is a surprise coming. So just, I guess anticipate it. Okay. So yeah, Ukrainians are producing drones at home. You can literally take a course and start making drones at home. And there was a really cool story that I saw on Twitter earlier. Hi, Alice. And that's cool, Gord. Gord built his first drone in 2014. Yeah, if I say it now, it's not going to be a surprise, which is why I'm not going to say it. To Pro about a year ago. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. But you're going to tell me. No, okay, so it's not going to be a surprise like that, but also I am planning on doing a couple of lives with a couple of fun people. So for instance, Wikipedia, thank you, sorry. Thank you, Kevin. Oh my gosh. So for instance, Wikipedia from Azov, he is going to live about 4 blocks away from me. So I have already let him know that even though he doesn't know that, he's going to be my dog sitter. He was not very amused because he does have a prosthetic leg and walking dogs is probably the last thing he wants to do. But because our relationship is just me constantly punning him and like, and being an ass, I I am going to I'm going to continue making fun of him and telling him that my dogs don't pool, and I don't see why he would have a hard time walking dogs. Uh, Thank you, Angel. We just got another donation in the amount of $40, and we are now at $7,055.73, which is so close to 3 drones. Like, oh my gosh, how close to 3 drones. So there is that. Thank you so much. Oh, another one. Thank you, Tonko. And another donation of $35, which brings us to $7,090.73, which is wild. Also, you guys, there might be like a really cool, surprising lot on Rick's live. So my friend from Third Separate Assault. So here's how all of this started. One of my Twitter followers messaged me on Twitter and like put a picture of a hoodie, like a limited edition hoodie from Third Separate Assault, and was like, "How much do I have to donate to get this?" And I was like, "I don't know." Ні, 7 тисяч то не було так швидко. Це вже цей збір проходить десь більше місяця, але насправді збори трошки швидше йдуть. Просто я переїжджала і дуже багато всього було, але я думаю, що ми десь може за місяць його закриємо, може швидше побачимо. So yeah, so what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, oh yeah, so I was like, what does this person have to do with this hoodie? And so he was told there is this particular unit, they're called Shershny, which is like hornets, and they are and it was a particular hoodie made limited edition just for them. And so my friend from third AB, he has this hoodie like unworn. It's just like laying in his apartment. He got it because he was part of the he was part of the fundraising effort, and he was like, I could donate my hoodie, but he's like, we could set an amount of like $5,000 or $10,000 total and fundraise that and have a raffle. Or he was trying to find out from the Hornets if they have some more hoodies somewhere left, because it was like a very limited one, and apparently there are like no more left at their HQ. So he has just that one, and he's like, or maybe I can get a few from the unit itself if they still have them, and we could do like a goal, and then every donation over a certain amount gets a hoodie. And so we are currently in the talks to figure out how to do this, how many hoodies there are, if there's just one or there are more than that. He's also sent me a really, really cool picture with a piece of a certain aircraft, and it's signed by a certain famous figure. And so he doesn't know yet if this could be raffled or if this could be an auction lot or something like that. But he's going to find out and give me an answer next week. And because Rick has a much larger audience than I do on YouTube, I figured that it'd be much better if this raffle was done on Rick's side, not on mine. So I had like messaged him and I was like, "Hi, Rick." He isn't doing this and he seems to be interested. So if all goes well and we can get the hoodie or the hoodies or the picture, Rick will have some very, very fun things that will be put up on auction or on raffle for donations on his live. And it's going to be going to Third Assault, and it's going to be going to a specific unit. I just don't know which unit yet, because if it's hoodies, then it's going to be going to the Hornets. And if it's the other thing that I was told I can't name until answer whether it can be raffled or not. is going to go to a different unit. I'm very excited to. I hope that it's going to happen, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited because I think there will be. It'll do a lot of good. So yeah. So there is that. Okay. Drone attacks by the security services of Ukraine reduced the export of oil products from Russia, according to Reuters. Successful drone attacks by the security service of Ukraine on large oil refining enterprises reduced Russian exports of petroleum products by almost a third. According to Reuters, in January, gasoline exports fell by 37%, diesel exports by 23%. Yeah, Ukraine has been targeting very particular capabilities. Oh, Lynn, you joined Patreon. Aw, thank you so much. Also, welcome. And I hope that you can make it to the call this weekend. It's very evident that Ukraine is doing it specifically to undermine Russia's oil and gas infrastructure, production infrastructure, because that's basically what Russia is making its money off of. Like its main ability to make money is through gas and oil and diamonds. If you didn't know that, so there is that. Also, how much more do you need for the third drone? For the third, so we are at 7,090, and 3 drones would be 7,250. So that would put us, 7,500? 7,500, yeah. So 7,500 is 3 drones, 15,000 is 6 drones. So 7,500 would be a halfway mark. So yeah, 410. Thank you, Diane. See, you're good at math. I'm not good at math. Math is not my strong suit, so I try to stay away from math, which is why I have a calculator open for this fundraiser at all times, and I just add things as they come, and then I go over the whole list and I re-add them again because I'm so terrible at math. Okay, Armenian Prime Minister Pashinyan. Oh my God. Oh, hi, Chad. And also thank you, Chad. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, still through Pepsi paying Russian taxes also. Yes, I mean, Pepsi does contribute a lot to that, but also it's not nearly as much as Russia makes from oil and gas exports and diamonds. Hi, Namasto. So there is a very cute Ukraine. Oh, here's the thing. Valentine's Day is coming up. And for those of you who are in Finland, in Suomi, there is a Ukrainian brand that's currently based in Suomi. And they also ship worldwide. But if you're in Suomi, it's probably going to get there faster. And it's called Namisto _UA. They're actually here in the chat, and you can make orders through their Instagram, and they're very awesome. They're also very affordable, and they make very pretty necklaces and bracelets and rings and earrings and stuff. And I highly recommend them. I do have a set myself. I gave one to Linnea a while ago for her birthday, and me and Rob did. And if you would like to get a cute Ukrainian-made present for your loved one, Namisto is a place to go. And I really want them to comment so you guys can see them on TikTok. But for those of you who are on YouTube and you want to Ukraine coffee shop story of yours. Ukraine coffee shop story. On John's live today. Wait, which coffee shop story? Wait, so let me write you the name of the thing on here on YouTube if you want to find them. If you want to find them, Aravosis, probably it's Aravosis. Yes, snoring is here because Liv. Oh, coffee for soldiers. Namista _UA is the place, so I put it on YouTube so you guys can. Oh my gosh, we got another $50 on the fundraiser. So it's plus 50. That puts us at $7,140.73. But I also saw another notification. So let me check it just in case, because it was an odd notification. Oh no, okay. Okay. Got it. So it is that. Okay. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. 360 left. Thank you, Diane. I do love the math help. It's very nice. Hi, Kat. Can you spell namusto_UA for people on here if they want to find the Ukrainian? Thank you, Chris. The Ukrainian like jewelry brand. That's really sweet. Also, John Aravos' story and Ukrainian coffee shop. So buying coffee for soldiers. Yeah. So there is like this thing called like in Ukrainian, it is basically here, like in the US, you would call it pay it forward, right? Or like in English, you would say pay it forward. So you know how like people used to buy coffee for like someone who was behind you in the line at Starbucks. So here, what people do is it's called like hang up coffee for the AFU. So it's like the Biskavo Zasu, about the difference of how the Russian language and Ukrainian language was determined. What do you mean about the difference of how the Russian language and Ukrainian language was determined? I'm confused. I don't know which story you're talking about. I'm confused. Maybe I'm forgetting. I'm definitely forgetting something, or I'm just not like understanding. But upper class to lower class. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, so okay. So I don't know if that's the same thing. I don't know if that's still about coffee, but yes. So the reason why so many people speak Russian is because in the Soviet Union and post-Soviet Union, especially in the east of the country, well, in the Soviet Union everywhere, and post-Soviet Union in the east of the country, what Russia was spreading and sort of like Russian little minions were spreading is that if you speak Ukrainian, then you are a villager, and if you speak Russian, that's the educated language, and Ukrainian is the language of like peasants and rednecks and stuff like that, right? And also because of the proximity to Russia, you had to do business with Russia. Like for instance, in the west of Ukraine, it was easier to do business with Europe and import from Europe because it was closer. And in the east of Ukraine, it was easier to do business with Russia and import from Russia. So you basically were forced to speak Russian language to do business with them, not English, Russian. And here people were more so, not like forced, but were kind of like speaking more English because you would have to do business with Europe. Also, in schools here I don't know if it's the same in the east of the country, but for instance, when I was growing up, in most schools here, we would take pretty intense English and we would have to choose another language. So some schools would offer German, some schools would offer French, some schools would offer Spanish. German was a very popular language, and that is why ich spreche Deutsch ein bisschen. And there we have it. So Armenian Prime Minister Pashinyan has stated that Armenia can no longer be a military partner of Russia as it was before. Yes, we did hit the 500, Cat. Oh my gosh, we're so past the 500. We hit the 500 and matched it. Then Bjorn from YouTube donated $1,000 overnight and just said hello from Norway. And I was like, oh, that's a good morning. Hello. And then now we're almost at 3 drones. According to Diane, it's $360 left, and I'm terrible at counting. Right? Isn't it so cool? Also, hi, Foodie. He emphasized the need to reassess military and military technical cooperation, citing both objective and subjective reasons for the shift. Pashinyan mentioned that in the past, Armenia's defense relations were overwhelmingly connected with Russia, but the current circumstances require a reconsideration of these ties. Pashinyan outlined plans to adopt a new concept for the development of the army by the end of the year. This new framework will include a review of interactions with other states, outlining a revised approach to defense sector cooperation and identifying potential partners for Armenia. Okay, so Thor or Thorolor, but please correct me if I'm super wrong. So I'm going to shorten your name to Thor. I'm so sorry. I just don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly, but it sounds French, and I think I'm pronouncing it properly. And how do I am Slava? I think it'd be Thorolor. Actually, I don't know. It's a very interesting name. I like it a lot. And thank you so much. How do I am Slava? So it is 35 minutes and a fundraiser. So we are at $7,175.73. Sorry, I was like, that was for some reason. No. Can someone please tell me the amount I just said? Can someone please tell me the amount I just said? Okay, so actually, here is what I do know. So it was minus 360, so that would be 7,001. Thank you, Bob. $7,100 point seven no $7,140.73 plus $35, $7,175.73. Toti. Okay. Oh, that's really cute. I like that. From Iceland. Oh my gosh. Hi. My best friend just went on a trip to Iceland a couple of months ago and absolutely loved it, and it's been on my bucket list forever. But I'm also scared of going to Iceland in the winter because I hear it is really icy and cold. But Iceland is but it's really awesome. I wonder how the Ukrainian black honey coffee tastes like. Like, you mean black honey from black honey like the name? It's really good. Black honey is not like I don't think that, I don't know if black honey is real, but a cafe called Black Honey is very real. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Armenia is pulling away from Russia. Not only, oh, it's really good. It's my favorite coffee in Lviv. I'm learning Ukrainian. How can I have a better Ukrainian? Black Honey is a Clinique lipstick. It's wonderful. I know. I actually love it. It's one of my favorite lipsticks. Thank you. Of course, you would say that, provided you work in makeup. Thank you so much. I also realized that because you said, so I have 360, right, as the amount left for 3 drones. So I just took 7,500. Subtracted 360 and then added 35, and that's how I arrived at 7,175.73. Thank you, Diane. I'm learning Ukrainian. How can I have a better Ukrainian accent? I don't know. So I'm a native Ukrainian speaker, right? So for me, it's hard to say how, like, what's, so here's the thing. I think that a lot of, especially English speakers, have a hard time like pronouncing the hard R's, and also have a really hard time pronouncing like is and je and stuff like that. So for instance, for je, like the spider letter, I'll say that the closest sound to that is, how everyone knows how to say bonjour in French, or je t'aime. So that's the same je. And then also French people have a phenomenal accent in Ukrainian for some reason. It's so interesting. And then for the Kyiv, like I know that people have a very hard time pronouncing so I usually say that Kith, like Kith, has a very similar sound as Kyiv. So oh yeah, Beijing too. Beijing. So je in Ukrainian that people have a hard time pronouncing. I don't know. I would find sounds in English similar in English that are like kind of. Also, we just received a $10 donation, and I didn't see. I will look at the name. So we are at $7,185.73. But let me see who sent it so I can say thank you. And also, Toti is so cute. Oh, thank you, Jose. Or Jose. I'm like, I always make it a point to say Spanish names like the way that they really sound, because it's not really that difficult. But I feel like I've been dealing with so many languages and speaking like Ukrainian, not English, that I'm like, Jose. No, it's Jose. And it's ridiculous. Thank you so much. If someone sawing through your floor with a chainsaw, no, it's my dog snoring. One way to improve accents in a foreign language is to listen to that language spoken without understanding the words, and then just try to copy the sounds you hear. Hey, Toti. If you learn the word, your brain will try to fit it to sounds you already know. Oh, that's really cool. That's a really good bit of advice. So, see, it again. Okay, one way to improve accents in a foreign language is to listen to that language spoken without understanding the words, and then just try to copy the sounds you hear. If you learn the word, your brain will try to fit it to sounds you already know, which is so cool. See, I wouldn't have given you such good advice. That's so cool. Livesies. Hey, bud. Hey, Liv. Okay, I think we've entered the stage at which this dog is not gonna wake up even if I try. Livesies. Hey, bud. Livesies. Hey, Bubba. Can you put your head into your little bed so you don't like snore that much? Thank you so much. Do you hear this noise? Also, learning and listening to Ukrainian music. Yeah, music is a very good way to learn languages as well. I agree. Next week, the US Senate will vote on an additional national security bill that includes aid to Ukraine and Israel. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer promises that they will vote no later than Wednesday, February 7th. Oh, I know it's not because it's boring. I just think, Z's are like, I thought that you were like, oh my gosh, I'm writing Z's because of sleep, not because of Russia. And I was like, and then I didn't even think that it was that it was because it's boring. I just thought like it was for Liv snoring. Everyone call your senators and tell them to support passing this aid bill. Actually, that's very true. So, your senators do react to what you say and what you do because you're their electorate, and they're scared that you're not going to vote for them. And so you should tell them that you're not going to vote for them if they don't support this bill and if they don't vote for it. It's all in our hands, and we should be calling senators. So, I mean, my senator is Chuck Schumer, so I don't think I need to be annoying him and telling him to pass the aid bill to Ukraine because he is for it. But then also, it's really good maybe to call his office and also like torment him into into annoying other senators to do it. So yeah. EU financial assistance to Ukraine cannot replace US security assistance, according to John Kirby, a representative of the US National Security Council. He's right. While President Joe Biden's administration welcomes the EU's approval of macro-financial aid to Ukraine, Kirby emphasized the importance of ongoing military aid from Washington, as EU funds are not allocated for weapons purchases. Kirby stated that the EU's decision will help ease Ukraine's financial difficulties, but it won't replace American leadership in security assistance. The administration will continue urging Congress to pass a national security request, including $61 billion, specifically for military aid to Ukraine. Kirby emphasized the careful consideration of this amount, stating that Ukrainians need it and Congress's approval is crucial. I mean, we know this, right? Like I've said this so many times before. So yeah, it's just, I mean, I don't want it to sound cheesy, right? But this is the thing. Ukraine really needs it, and world order depends on it. And it's no longer just like a big statement. I'm sure that people are starting to see it because, Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, all these countries, they're trying to influence your information space. They're trying to influence how you think. They're trying to influence the world order genuinely by shifting sort of the powers in the world. And if Russia wins this war, if Russia topples Ukraine, then the world order is going to shift. And that's going to be a world order in which dictatorships and regimes prevail. And as much as you might not like your leaders, as much as you might not like what's going on in your democratic countries, you have the power to change these things. Unless you continue electing people that are literally fascists, that are supported by Putin and, put people like Trump in power, but that's a whole different thing. But, and it's also part of it. It's also part of Russia installing people that are useful and beneficial to them. So, but and to all of those people who I see, like all of these like young people who are educated, who are smart, right, say things like, oh, the US deserves this and the US deserves that, and we should be like taken off our high horse. It's like, the reason why the US is on this high horse is because there are things that are much more vile and evil, and you are too entitled and too comfortable and too sort of like sheltered to understand these things. But we, people who come from under these dictatorships, are not. And we are telling you, listen, please stop playing with fire. Because, thank you, Owen. Please stop playing with fire because you're gonna get burned. And by the time that you realize how much you've burned yourself, it's gonna be too late. Canada and Ukraine are creating an international coalition that will work on the return to Ukraine of children who are forcibly removed from the occupied territories to other occupied regions of Russia, announced the heads of foreign affairs of Canada and Ukraine, Melanie Joly and Dmytro Kuleba. Bundestag approves a state budget with military aid for Ukraine in the amount of approximately 7.6 billion euros, which is a huge amount and probably the largest amount anyone in Europe could afford to do, because Germany is a leading military power in terms of military production. Hey guys, so Tahoe House right there is likely a troll, but we're not going to remove him quite yet, because I am going to politely answer these questions. Do you think there will be a peace treaty? Every war ends with a peace treaty. It just depends on whose terms. This peace treaty is going to be on Ukraine's terms. If you think that anyone is going to sign a peace treaty with Russia, there is no point in doing that, because torturing civilians, creating torture chambers, civilians, forbidding them from speaking their language, re-educating them, and doing all of these horrendous concentration camp-like things to them is not peace. So peace treaty with Russia cannot happen until Ukraine wins, and then there is a treaty that forces Russia into reparations, and et cetera, et cetera. How come the counteroffensive didn't go as planned? I don't know, maybe because some of the weapons weren't delivered on time. Actually, a lot of the weapons weren't delivered on time, and because, sometimes counteroffensives don't go as planned, especially when you are waging it against pure evil that mines the territory of your country so much that you have to avoid that in order to be able to complete the counteroffensive. Also, it is really difficult to do when you literally do not have air support. So you don't have. It's not that you don't have air superiority, you have no air support. And it's difficult to do, and a lot of NATO countries are like telling you what to do and how to do it. Based on, on a situation they themselves would never be in and have never been in, based on the weapons. Who will replace Zelensky? Yulia Tymoshenko? Why? Where did that even come from? Unless it's my friend Yulia Tymoshenko, who's currently in her 20s and she's fantastic and she's a great activist, then I don't think so. I also don't think she has political ambitions, so probably not. Yes, you can now remove the person because it's clearly a troll. But here is the thing, troll. I'm not interested in fighting you, nor am I interested in being rude to you, so you can so you can do what you came here to do. You ask kind of ignorant, silly questions. I will answer them to the best of my ability in a non-ignorant and non-silly way, because there might be people who actually want to know answers to some of these questions, but they just wouldn't have asked them in such an ignorant, silly way. Anyways, France has responded to the killing and wounding of French citizens as a result of Russian attack in the Kherson region. France has confirmed today that 2 French people were killed and 3 others were wounded in a Russian attack in Borislav, Kherson region on February 1st. This was reported by the Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs, Stéphane Séjourne, on Twitter. 2 French humanitarian workers were killed in Ukraine as a result of a Russian attack, a cowardly and undignified act. I'm sending my thoughts to their relatives and comrades. French President Emmanuel Macron wrote on Twitter. According to Tolokonnikov, head of the press service of the Kherson Regional Military Administration, the French volunteers did not coordinate this trip with the military. But even if they did, it likely wouldn't have, impacted the situation much, because Russia targets everything and anything. Spain is training the Ukrainian soldiers in the technical maintenance of Patriot air defense systems. The training is taking place in Valencia. Ooh, thank you, Spain. Gracias. Or rather, if it's in like Spanish, it'd be like gracias. So there we have it. I'm trying to learn proper pronunciations of like basic things in as many languages as I can. I learned a little bit of, well, not a little bit. I learned a word in Gaelic the other day. Okay, so like, please don't, I was like, ooh, I learned a little bit of Gaelic. No, I did not. I learned a word in Gaelic, and I'm pretty sure it's useless. Literally outside of talking to military, because, well, I guess if you're trying to like learn, like adding numbers and stuff, it might be useful too. Scots Gaelic, no, Irish Gaelic. I will never see the letter Z the same again. It can't be unseen. Yeah, me too. It's like the same as you can never see swastika as a peace sign unless you're literally in Japan, right? Russian aviation attacked the central district of Kherson. A 74-year-old woman who was in the yard at the time of the attack and a 17-year-old boy were wounded and hospitalized. Multi-story buildings and private houses were damaged. Ukraine has returned 4 more children abducted by Russians from Zaporizhia and Kherson regions. Children from 0 to 16 years old. All of them are safe now in one of our centers. The charity organization Save Ukraine, which is working on the return of deported children, said in a statement. This is the 15th rescue mission of the foundation, and so far they have brought back 235 Ukrainian children from the occupation and the territory of Russia, which is awesome. There's so many more. It's estimated that there are tens, if not hundreds of thousands of children who were abducted from different regions. Are ours away. What is the, Privilege. Ush, what is the Gaelic word? Why? Do you speak Gaelic, or do you just want to learn a word in Gaelic? Is there anyone who speaks Irish Gaelic here? Actually, let's test this. Let's see how well I was taught. In the meanwhile, Romanian Chief of General Staff calls to be ready for war with Putin, according to Politico. He advocated for voluntary basic military training for men and women up to 35 years old, as well as increasing of the country's army from 80,000 to 120,000. Among the necessary tasks, he also emphasized overcoming the shortage of personnel, setting up the production of modern weapons, and purchasing new ones primarily for the fight against UAVs. But it's very rusty now. Oh, that's cool. In his opinion, if Russia overpowers Ukraine, Moldova will be next. Because this is not a war against Ukraine only, this is Russia's war with democratic peace. The word in Gaelic is goma, so it would be, or rather like goma, so it would supposedly be plus. So like, when you are in the military, a lot of the times when you like, instead of saying Roger, you just say, in Ukraine, you say plus plus. People send you 2 plus signs, like as in like, got it, Roger that. So I now know how to say that in Gaelic and Irish Gaelic, so, or at least I think I do. So, oh yeah, okay, see? Yep, that's exactly how you spell that too. Oh, good. It means good. Oh, see, I wasn't even taught the right word. The right word. Ah, well, that's upsetting. um, I guess like the interpretation would be the same, but I wanted to know how to say plus. Not good, but I guess like that's good too. And also it's funny because I would think that it was like it would be GOMH, but I would never peg like MAITH, especially like as two separate words. Okay, Czech military has already trained almost 1,000 Ukrainian soldiers in Poland. Specialized mobile groups of Czech engineers, chemists, medics, and snipers were involved in the training, the Czech military Ministry of Defense reports. I'm currently learning French and Spanish. That's cool. I think learning languages in general is fantastic. Brazil became the largest importer of Russian petroleum products last year, overtaking Turkey. The article reports that Brazil imported 6.1 million tons of diesel from Russia in 2023, which is over 60 times more than 101,000 tons in 2022. The value in dollar terms increased from $95 million to $4.5 billion, according to official government figures. Latin America also increased its purchases of fuel from Russia, which with imports growing to $5.3 billion last year, up from $1.1 billion in the previous year. I mean, I really don't think that this is something that is surprising or needs an explanation. If it does, let me know. But I don't believe that it's super necessary because it's not surprising. It's not surprising that Latin American countries would be taking advantage of the situation. So yeah. Also, wait, before I go to the next one. So remember I got a tattoo and I was like weirdly showing it to you because my hand wasn't, or my arm wasn't bending that way. And it was like, it had like a little bandage on it. So here is, or like taping rather, or tape. So here is the tattoo, and it's a fish because my dad calls me Fish, and I just took off the bandage today, and yeah, it's a koi fish. Yes, it is a koi fish. And one day I'll also tell you why it's a koi fish, among any other fish that it could have been. So I will let you know. Oh, hi, Cyber Doc. I lived in El Paso for 54 years with Spanish speakers. I still can't speak it, but I understand it. Yeah. Why does your dad call you Fish? I see you have two tattoos, one fish and one from Liv. Yes, this is a tattoo from Liv. Why does your dad call you Fish? I don't know. So when I was a kid, he would call me Ryba. So he still calls me Ryba, to be honest. And it's like interesting because Ryba is not like a pet word in Ukraine, but my dad just for some reason called me Ryba my whole life. And and that means fish. So did you swim a lot? I mean, I did, but not like that. I mean, it's just more so like I think he found a word that wasn't like your typical pet word and just decided to call me that. And so he would like run in, and I don't know why. So I was considering getting a herring tattoo until I looked at what a herring looks like, and I was like, no, thank you. But so he would like run in and he would be like, ryba, 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 silotka. And I don't know why. And like oseledets, or like silotka, which is a Russian word for it, is herring. So he would just like run into my room and like start tickling me and scream like fish, 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 herring. And I don't know why, maybe because like when he was tickling me, I'd be like, like that. So herring, like I would act like a fish. So I don't know. Yeah, but see, like ryba or rybka is like a thing in Poland, but it isn't really in Ukrainian. Like no one really calls anyone ryba. like my dad just does. I was wondering if you could post the Discord link for some reason and your link. Oh yeah, yeah. I can repost. So if you have YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, and the Discord is linked on my YouTube as well. And I'm also like it's the same as this on YouTube too, so you can look at it there. But I will check what's wrong with the link on in link in Discord is there, and yes, do check out the podcast. But so we haven't had an episode in the past month because I've been moving and Robbie has been dealing with some stuff. But we are renewing the podcast, and we are going to try and do it like more consistently. Now, it's been so I just don't want to I don't want to speak on Robbie's behalf, sort of why it's been so difficult for him to do these, but I am going to I'm going to ask him if he's comfortable sharing, and then I will, if he is. European leaders have confirmed their intention to provide continued military support for Ukraine, amounting to 20 billion euros over the next 4 years, according to Prime Minister of Ukraine, Denis Shmyhal. Oh, you've been checking for the podcast every day. Oh my gosh, we're hoping to release it next week. Being really ready for it to be released, but the problem is that I likely will be moving next week. I'll be driving back and forth between Lviv and Kyiv, so that might be an issue. But yes, it's gonna come back, and it's gonna come back this month, I promise. Shmyhal stated, already in March, we expect to create a separate instrument for Ukraine within the framework of the European Peace Fund. Additionally, progress has been made regarding Russian assets. Ukrainian diplomats have succeeded in convincing European countries to agree to use the proceeds from the frozen assets of the Russian Federation, marking a development in this issue after 2 years of efforts. The US Treasury has announced sanctions against a key network of suppliers of materials and technology for Iran's ballistic missile and drone programs, including the Shahed series. US sanctions target 4 legal entities from Iran and Hong Kong that were engaged in clandestine supply of sanctioned Iranian entities. I mean, listen, do we think this is going to do anything? Thank you so much, Owen. It's really nice to meet you. And, good luck with whatever it is that you're doing. The UN International Court of Justice in The Hague has decided to accept Ukraine's lawsuit against Russia. Kyiv accuses Moscow of using alleged genocide of the Russian-speaking population in Donbass as a pretext for starting a war, according to BBC. The court partially rejected Russia's claims that Ukraine's lawsuit doesn't fall under jurisdiction. The conflict centers around whether genocide occurred in Donbass, leading the UN court to partially consider Ukraine's claims. This legal dispute stems from Putin's justification for the war on February 24th, 2022. Hi, radio! Claiming it aimed to protect people subjected to abuse and genocide by the Kyiv regime for 8 years, despite a UN court order in March 2022 for Russia to halt military operations on Ukraine's territory. The decision had no consequences. Oh my gosh. So I have to do that after the live because I have to open it on this phone, and I'm currently doing the live on it, but I will add it to the sum total if it's for the fundraiser, which I'm assuming it is. Thank you so much in advance. Or not in advance, because but hi, so good to see you. Yeah, my live finally got unbanned, and also it's now February, and I kind of took January easy because I needed some rest. So I figured I also needed, I was not really, I wasn't being very inspired in January it was really hard for me to record videos, but in February, I'm planning on, recording many videos and coming back full force. And also there is some big news that are going to happen soon. So, so yeah, but that's basically it for today. And we are gonna come back to, discussing the UN International Court of Justice and the lawsuit and Ukraine's lawsuit against Russia tomorrow, and I am, I'm kind of excited to be back in, in in sort of spirits and not being tired to do lives, and yeah. Oh my gosh. So yeah. Oh, hi Niels. So good to see you. And oh, thank you, Chad. Thank you, Grandma. Oh, thank you so much, you guys. Awesome. I will check it after the live because I need to open the app in VPN to see it. But thank you so much. And I will respond to you in the Venmo too. Happy trails, everyone. All happy days. And thank you, Tara. And this whole sanctions regime is enforced so badly. The international law specialists failed for decades. Yes, they did. Oh, thank you, Toti. And thank you, Radio, and thank you, everybody. Thank you, Drake, or Diane, sorry. Oh, thank you for that. Oh, Itlums. Thank you, Chad. Oh, you always have those really cool colors. Thank you so much. Marvelous confetti. Alrighty, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And Niels, it's so nice. I'm so happy that you were watching in the background. Good to see you. Yeah. Okay. Good night, everyone. Or sort of, if you if you're in the U.S., then enjoy the rest of your day because it's still like it's still, what is it, like 7? Yeah, it's like 7 p.m. right now, 7:30. Thank you for the informative stream. Thank you, SK, and thank you, Angel, and Jack the Rocky, and Martin, and Niels. Good night, everybody. Yeah, or nor. Okay, Grumpy, I need to stop saying or nor because now anytime I say that, I am like, I try to like everything else. But yes, 6:30 in my corner. Oh wow, yeah. So I mean, like, okay, Eastern Standard Time. It's 7, but the sun is down. Yeah, that's like the downside of winter, right? But it's soon going to start getting. The days are soon going to start getting longer and longer. Okay. Good night, guys, and so good to see you. And I'll see you. Alrighty. Bye. And stream. And flower